yet the wonderful thing about that is that it speaks to people.
Well, this is not how I planned on starting a video. All right, that's good. I went to go pick up some parts from a friend of mine out of town, and the car broke. Basically, to sum up what happened, I was coming up to a stop sign, pushed in the clutch to go put it in neutral. As soon as I pushed in the clutch went to the floor and didn't come back up. So I get out of the car and I just see brake fluid everywhere and clutch fluid everywhere. So I was like, oh, sweet. So I got people to help me push it out of the way. And once we got it pushed out of the way, luckily, a friend of mine was really gracious enough to come and help me pick up the car on a trailer. And now we're back home with it. So we're about to start diagnosing the problems and see what the hell is going on with this car. Man, we got 4 days until this YouTube call out event, and this car is just not wanting to work for me. Basically though, what happened is the clutch line up there on top of the transmission came off, and basically what it does is the clutch line slides into the bell housing, and this little flimsy tiny baby clip is what holds the clutch line, which is under a ton of pressure, into that car. So Ford, thanks for that expert design. That's awesome. Basically though, we squeeze this clip a little bit stronger together, so hopefully it won't have any problems of popping off again. And we're gonna squeeze it together, stick it back on to the plastic piece, and slide the clutch line basically back into the bell housing, and hopefully it will hold. You're not gonna be able to see anything, so I'm probably not gonna be recording. I just want to tell you guys what was going on. Well, easy enough. We slipped that clutch line back onto the transmission, and as of this second, it looks like it is hopefully okay. This is the second time now that it has popped off. Basically though, that little clip that I was showing you guys that holds the clutch line onto the transmission, we squeezed that together so that it would have a lot tighter grip onto the clutch line. So we are hoping that that will hopefully solve the issue. Well, now that we got the clutch issue fixed with the clutch line, I can show you guys why I was leaving my house to go pick up some parts from a friend. This is what all I'm getting ready to install on the car today. As you guys see here, I've got 2 new belts. One is going to be for this pulley right here, which is a 79mm pulley. Makes approximately, I believe, around 11 pounds of boost or so. But as you guys know, in my video from a few days ago, I've already swapped this car over to E85, as well as putting in the full Siley fuel system in this car. So as you guys know, with E85, you can crank the boost up quite a bit. So voila, I got a much smaller pulley. This is a 79mm pulley, as I said, 11 pounds of boost, and this is a 69mm pulley. This is seriously so much smaller than the original 79 that's on here. So a lot of issues that these superchargers have, especially after swapping to such a small pulley, is what's called belt slip. And basically that is whenever the supercharger belt slips past the pulley itself, and then it's not turning the supercharger because it's slipping, so you're losing boost, you're not making peak power, stuff like that, and that is very inefficient. So I got this as a solution. There's a guy that makes these, his name is Scott Hasty. Basically, if you guys can see right here, there's an idler pulley, right? And this thing is tiny and it's not close enough to the supercharger to actually get enough belt wrap right here on the supercharger pulley. So what this kit does is you bolt it on right there, and basically it ends up right about here, and it wraps that supercharger belt around this pulley really, really tightly. That way you're getting as much contact patch on the pulley as possible from the belt, so you're not gonna suffer from as much slipping. And basically, we're gonna try and get all of this installed. I'm actually waiting currently on the UPS guy to show up, and he has a Palm Beach Dyno 68mm twin throttle body for over there. So we're gonna get the upgraded throttle body put on. We're gonna get the smaller pulley, get a lot more boost through here, and we're on E85 now. So we're gonna be cranking this car up a ton. I do know one thing for sure is that this pulley is gonna be seriously nasty. So yeah, I've got all my stuff here. I've got everything ready to be installed. So without further ado, I guess we can go ahead and get started on this install and then get ready to start tuning with Lund. Okay. Like I said, I need to remove both these reservoirs, so I'm going to go ahead and get these mounting bolts out of the way. So now that I've got the reservoir out of the way, I'm going to take this breaker bar and put it down here on the tensioner pulley. And then whenever I turn it to the left, it's going to take tension off of this belt. And I should be able to slip this belt off. There we go. And then I should be able to just completely pull the belt out. And voila. So there is the main belt. And now I can get to the serpentine belt that drives the supercharger and some of the accessories back there. Now again, first thing that I'm going to do is slip the breaker bar onto the tensioner pulley here. And then I can pull it this way and take tension off of this belt and slip it off. Okay, here is this either pulley and the tensioner on this entire tensioner assembly. So let me set that out of the way and then continue to grab this belt from out of here, and bang, that is the old supercharger belt. Now I need to grab this new supercharger belt, and this one's going to be a slight bit shorter than the original one, as you can see here. So now the next step is to align this belt and route it properly through all of the pulleys. I'm not gonna be able to do this on camera. This is kind of a pain. So let me go ahead and route it per this sticker up here that shows how to route the belt. And I will talk to you guys as soon as I get that back on and then get the tensioner bracket back on. Okay, so now I've got this tensioner bracket put back on there. The belt is routed. I'm gonna take off this idler pulley because, as I said earlier, I got that bracket that has a bigger idler pulley that's gonna replace it. So now once that either pulley is off, I need to take out 2 more bolts right here and right here. And basically that bracket is gonna replace those bolts and use these mounts. So now I'm just gonna slide the bracket in place with the new mounting bolts. So next thing is to go ahead and take off this 79mm pulley and get ready to swap it over to the 69mm pulley. All right. So 79 is off. Hey, get down. Stop. Huge thanks once again to my friend Tom for letting me use a 69mm pulley. Mine is on back order, so I wouldn't have it for the event, but luckily he was nice enough to actually lend me his to use until mine comes in. So huge thanks once again to Tom for letting me borrow that. So now I've got all of the belts routed and put back on properly. All the brackets are now tightened up, ready to go. Next thing that I need to do is just install the coolant reservoirs back into their positions and then flash the new tune over for the 69mm pulley and start it up for its first awakening on so many more pounds of boost. This is gonna be wild. The reservoirs are installed back, pulley bracket is put on, and now if you look close, you can notice that right here there is a lot more belt wrap around this supercharger pulley. So I shouldn't have any slipping belts or anything on this supercharger now. Next thing that I need to do is, like I was saying earlier, I need to go ahead and go flash the new tune for the 69mm pulley and the 85 onto the car. And again, this is just a base tune, so I'm gonna go ahead and load this onto the car, and then we're gonna get started data logging later this afternoon or tomorrow. Unfortunately though, before I can start the car and even drive it around, I forgot that I have to wait until my twin 68mm throttle bodies come in from Palm Beach Dyno and I get them on the car, because this tune is actually configured for the throttle body that I have coming. It should be arriving here in just a second. The throttle body is out for delivery currently, so after it comes off of the truck and I get it onto the car, then we can crank it up and we're good to go. Tune is being flashed onto the car right now. It's only going to take a few seconds, so now it's just a waiting game on waiting for UPS to show up with my box. And as I say that, the UPS guy pulls up.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going? Thank you very much. Hey, Mia, come on. All right, I got both of the boxes right here. Let's go ahead and open these things up. The big call out is coming up, right? And I'm gonna go out there, as a lot of you can probably see, and I'm gonna give my best efforts to gap a lot of the cars out there. Well, the problem before is that I have a GoPro, so I do get to record a lot, but unfortunately, I only have one GoPro and it's really hard to get everything on footage from multiple angles, only having one. So I ordered another GoPro Hero 5 Black Edition. GoPro has treated me right for a long time now. I've used GoPros for basically all of my footage that I've done on this channel, and they have been seriously great to me. So now that that is out of the way, let's go ahead and check out the second box. Oh my lord, man, wow. Oh, okay, dang. That is a big throttle body. Whoo, man. If that doesn't flow, then I don't know what is. Oh my gosh. This thing looks gorgeous. Wow. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna go ahead now, take off the intake, and we're gonna get started on swapping over to this throttle body. Let me take off this coupler that holds the intake onto the throttle body right here. And I believe the whole intake tube should just pop out. Yep. And so now I need to take out the throttle body connectors right here. Okay, so I've got the small one out now, and look at that, how much of a difference that makes. These are 60 millimeters. This is 68 millimeters. I mean, this throttle body is just so much larger than the stock one. It's unreal. Plus, I'm gonna be happy because it's black and it's gonna match everything else. I got all the bolts tightened up around the actual throttle body itself, so now I'm good to slide on the connectors that I took off for the throttle body back onto the throttle body. And last thing to finish this up is just to tighten down the hose clamp that is around this coupler right here on the throttle body. And then we are done. Ooh, I'm excited to crank this thing up. So I'm pretty sure that we are good to give it its first start on this much boost with the 85 and this throttle body. This is gonna be a huge, probably 150 to 200 horsepower difference than what it was before last time that I went to the track. All right, here goes nothing. It started perfect. Heck yes. It looks like I have everything routed properly. It's good to go. I'm proud of myself after that. Let's check the fuel pressure. Yep, fuel pressure is a touch over 55, which is where it's supposed to be. Oh my. I'm actually thoroughly impressed. For just a base tune that's on here for the mods that I've done, this thing drives pretty dang smooth. That is definitely nothing to complain about. Huge thanks once again to Brandon over there at Lund. That guy sure knows what he is doing with tuning. If you guys are looking for somebody to tune your car, seriously, give Lund a try. Those guys have put this car so much faster than what it was. They have cars just like this that are stick shifts that are running in 9 seconds off of their tune. Everything on the car looks to be perfectly fine as of right now, so I've been data logging this whole entire drive now. I've been driving around for probably around 5 minutes, so I believe that I'm good. I'm gonna head back home now, send over this data log over to them so that they can send me a revision, and hopefully we can have this tune finished up by Thursday is what I'm really honestly hoping for. One thing I do know for sure is that this car is going to be fast after we get done. We made it back home, data log is done, so we are good for the day. Don't judge me. We got a lot of the main components that I was really worried about getting ready for this call out. Got the Scott Hasty pulley bracket right here to get a lot more belt wrap on this 69 millimeter pulley, because once you go down that small, the belt just tends to slip around it. So that bracket helps out a ton. Cross your fingers, this thing should be a beast though. As always guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Drop a like on this video for the new setup finally being done on the car. This has been a ton of work. Comment down below. Let me know if you think this is going to be a competitor out there at the call out against that brand new ZR1 that Street Speed has, against Nick's Camaro. A lot of those cars are way faster than this one, but we're going to see if I can get a better launch and hopefully get out in front of them a little bit. It is an 1/8 mile track that we're going to be going to, so the 373 gears in this car will be putting up a fight. I'm really pumped. Hope to see you guys out there. As always guys, until next video.